102.5 forecast. This weather forecast is brought to you by Set TV Now Internet Television, 500 channels of TV. www.trytvfree.biz. Tuesday weather forecast, clouds will increase today. Temperatures will be up around 50 and a northeast wind about 10-12 miles per hour. Chance of rain developing late tonight, maybe a rumble of thunder by morning, 40 to 45 for the low. Clouds and showers and a few thunderstorms roaming around Wednesday and Wednesday night. The high Wednesday, 60 to 65. And more clouds and showers expected Thursday and Friday. Temperatures around 70 on Thursday, cooling into the 40s on Friday. Your life, your music, we're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. South Africa's governing ANC has confirmed it's formally asked President Jacob Zuma to resign. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un says there should be a further livening up of ties with South Korea. The alleged mastermind of an audacious bank heist has gone on trial in France nearly half a century after the crime, and the Commonwealth group of nations is reported to be secretly considering who might succeed the Queen after she passes away.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to this chilly day. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Hardin, and I have two very special guests with me today. I have Mr. Jerry Walker III, and I have Miss Lauren Isbell. Make sure I got that right. They're here from Arkansas Early Learning. Thank you all for joining me this morning.
Glad to be here.
All right, so today we're going to talk about the center. We're going to talk about you all, and you all have a wonderful program going on right now that is going on through March. It is a readathon centered around getting more fathers and men in particular involved in reading to the children.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to get into that a little bit later, but first, since this is your first time here, I would like for you to please introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what role you play at the center.
Okay. I'm Jerry Walker, and my title is Community Partnership Assistant.
Okay.
I've been with Arkansas Early Learning for a little over 2 years. I started off in the classroom, but now I'm able to make contact with our other 10 counties that we serve through communities, and I'm liking it, and I'm enjoying it, and just want to make a bigger impact on the other children that we serve besides just one particular classroom.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm Lauren Isbell. I'm the Community Partnerships Manager. I hired on with Arkansas Early Learning about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
So I've in the role that I play, I oversee all of our kind of external relations with the communities that we have our centers in. So, of course, we're headquartered here in Jonesboro. We're proud to be based in Crockett County and serving the Jonesboro community. However, we have 27 locations statewide.
That's amazing.
So we're all throughout Northeast Arkansas, and then we also have locations down in the Little Rock area, North Little Rock, Jacksonville, Hot Springs, and then us over in Northwest Arkansas as well. So as you might imagine, those communities are all quite different.
Yes, ma'am.
And just trying to make sure that our centers and our partnership sites that we have are promoted well in those different communities. So
okay.
It's a fun job. Plus, I get to hang out with Jerry all day.
All right. And I'm sure that you have to make sure that all of the facilitators, instructors that are in place are there to help meet the needs of the children that you serve and the families that you serve as well.
Yes.
And so let's get into talking about some of your services. I don't have the website put up, but Jerry brought me a brochure. So in the brochure, it says our families, our partners, our needs. So let's talk about the families that you serve and how does a child qualify to be to attend your facility.
Okay.
Go ahead, Terry.
Yes, the families that we serve are families that might not be able to go and pay for child care, or they might have certain needs, special needs that need to be met.
Okay.
And we actually have partnerships with like life strategies and different things like that, so that they can get the extra help that they need. We go based off of a point system. So if you wanted to get your child enrolled, and you're a high school parent, a high school mother, that could raise your points and get you onto the waiting list.
It's not necessarily first come, first serve. We try to serve the highest need first.
Okay, that's awesome. And so, have you ever had to turn anyone away, or like you were just so full that?
Yes.
I'm sorry, you have to wait a moment.
Unfortunately, in the Jonesboro area, our waiting lists are quite long. In some of our more rural areas, where we have more leniency.
Okay.
But we are working to remedy that. We've got, in fact, this year we started taking on more partnership sites, which is where we're running a Head Start class, or Head Start, well, in this case, early Head Start, so our babies. That's really where the demand is for ages 0 to 3. And we have several of those classrooms that operate in a private daycare center, so it's almost like we're, in some terms, leasing a space, a classroom space from a private daycare center, just so that we don't have to have all the overhead.
I understand.
And it can maximize, we can stretch those dollars that are invested in our program even further by getting creative, and it allows us to serve more families. So we have, in Jonesboro, we have 3 of our standalone centers. 2 are on the same campus on North Church Street. And then we have 1 by the Child Support Enforcement Office on La Tourette.
Okay.
And then we have a partnership site at Little Heroes Learning Academy, which is on Falls Boulevard, just off Nettleton. In Jonesboro, so we have a classroom there as well.
Okay.
And that's one of those partnership sites. We work in partnership with the owner of that private daycare facility.
Okay, so you're able to offer educational services.
Oh, and one on Bradley Street as well, at Ready, Set, Learn with Miss Kayla Attaway. She is one of our partners as well, and she operates a family child care facility in her garage.
Okay.
But we got to put 8 more babies out there, so that was fantastic.
That is amazing. So are you currently seeking more partnerships in the Jonesboro area due to the
demand?
Based on the need, are you seeking more partners?
We would certainly entertain the idea of kind of having some waiting in the wings, so that if funding becomes available, we have people that are interested immediately, because it's one of those things, the grant application comes out and you have to submit it very quickly. The turnaround is exceptionally fast, and so you always have to kind of have folks kind of hanging out waiting for that to fall down. So we're hopeful that we'll be able to continue to expand programs and services as funding permits.
Okay.
And I just wanted to add this into that. If you have an infant, because we're Head Start and we're early Head Start and we're Head Start.
Okay.
Now, early Head Start is our babies, 3 months on to 3 years of age, and from 3 years old they transition over into our Head Start, which is from 3 to 5.
Okay.
And so if the younger you get them in, the longer they be with us, and so they're getting that social emotional help. They're getting that early head start, before school. So.
And I think a lot of parents would really appreciate that. And it's not just, okay, I want to send my child somewhere so, someone else can deal with them. No, the children need as much education and interaction as possible.
And that structure is so good.
And I'm studying sociology with a hint of criminology classes. And there's some things that they talk about in the textbook. Children can easily fall into those antisocial behaviors based on some of their environment plays a role in that. So if they are socialized in a positive way earlier, it can potentially have a more positive impact on their life versus the other, them being antisocial. Now, of course, you can't prevent everything, but the earlier they can get socialized, it will be better for them. It is proven to be better for them.
That's right.
Well, let's talk about some of the I don't want to call it courses or the education that you provide. Just say with the 0 to 3, give us some examples of some things children will be exposed to, some things they'll learn at the different centers, or is it simply up to the partner?
No, we have a curriculum that we follow. Jerry, I'll let you talk about that. You've spent plenty of time in the classroom.
The curriculum for the infant and toddlers is, just they're in that mobile stage. They're figuring out that they are independent and they can do things on their own. So it's just really, we provide a safe environment for them to explore and get to know, hey, my hands can grab, my hands can touch this. And there's a lot of singing and talking going on because, it's been proven that the more words that a child hear, the more they are able to comprehend, and the better that they're able to make better choices. And so there's a lot of talking going on. There's a lot of communication, and so it's play, but it may look like play, but it's learning. It's a learning experience, and that's in our early Head Start classroom.
So with these different curriculums, I'm sure you have to do a lot of tracking and statistics, but personally, have you noticed a child that came in the beginning and then you have been able to kind of track their development over time?
We actually use a database called Teaching Strategies. And what that does is scales them. Each day we record what that child done, and so from when school starts in August to our end of the end of the year, we're able to see the growth of that child. And we've got the computer base as well as the paper base, so the parents can take that and look at it,
take it home and put it on the refrigerator.
And I'm sure that you've gotten a lot of positive feedback from parents whose children have been exposed to your curriculum. Give us some examples of the feedback that you've gotten, of what parents have had to say.
I've got, from my experience and from what a parent has spoken to me, was that when they got the child's portfolio bag, it was like, I thought he was going to need some extra help, but he's overachieving what we thought that he could do. And it wasn't so that he was showing different behaviors that would provoke her to think that, but it's just being in that environment and having the resources there so that they can do act out in a way that shows that they are successful in that area. But because if a child doesn't have the resources and just sitting at home, watching TV or just, crying, then he's not able to do what it is that he can do. So we see feedback from the parents on that.
Well, that is really wonderful, and I'm sure they really appreciate all that you all have to offer. And then for the children in the 3 to 5 age range, that's when they're getting ready for that kindergarten stage, and so they're learning a lot of more skills. Now they're learning how to, you got them all hyped up with singing and dancing at 0 to 3. Now, we need you to sit down and be quiet. Kind of like we need to transition to, now you got to learn how to be quiet. So, have that balance between this is sit down time and this is playtime. So, talk about that.
In the Head Start classroom, we have which the EHS has as well, but it's more profound in the Head Start classroom, but we have what we call learning centers. We have the block area, we have dramatic play, we have the library center, and so this is pretty much based on the child can go to the center as it pleases while we're in that time frame of learning center time. And they pretty much sit there and learn on their own, and they get attached to what they're doing, and you will see them persist and keep going. Even like with blocks is actually mathematical. So they're learning mathematics while playing with blocks, transitioning over into kindergarten.
Okay, so they're having to be a little more calculated. Okay, it takes this many blocks to make this size and this shape, and
yeah.
Okay,
and even from the dramatic play, you're learning how to be self-sufficient. You're learning those motor skills. You're learning even inner social emotional skills because there's other people in the area, and you're having to sweep together. You're having to cook. Hey, can you pass me the ketchup? Can you pass me this? And so just it like I said before, it seems like play, but they're actually learning how the real world operates.
Alrighty. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Mr. Jerry Walker and Ms. Lauren. Did I say that right? Isabel.
Yes.
Isabel, not
Yes.
Isabel. Isabel from Arkansas Early Learning. And again, Arkansas Early Learning has several sites all over Arkansas. I'm not going to list them all because it's quite a few. But is there a website I want to give people?
Yes.
Go ahead.
arearlylearning.org.
All right. So if you would like to learn more information,
Or you can find us on Facebook.
Oh yes, they are on Facebook, and they have quite a bit of information posted. So go check them out, please. And if you have any questions or comments while they're here today, give us a call at 870-277-1080 or drop us a message on our Facebook live stream. Okay, so let's talk about. In the brochure, it says our needs. Our program must match its grant funds by 20% through community support in order to maintain operations in its service area. This is primarily achieved through volunteer time and community donations of supplies, equipment, and or money. We always have a need for individual or group volunteers. So let's talk about some of the needs you face.
Sure. Well, Arkansas Early Learning is a federally funded program, so that automatically makes people think that we don't need assistance.
No.
However, as with any government money, sort of kind of, it comes with a catch.
Yes.
They give us the money, but then they expect that our community is going to help reinvest that money and be good stewards of that money. And so what they require is for every dollar that they give us, they want 20 cents of either, like, it can be cash money donation, or we can value volunteer time as money. We can quantify that, assign a dollar value to that hour of time, and basically track all the time that volunteers do at the center. And it can be parent volunteers, it can be grandparent volunteers of children in our program, or it can be, we have several ASU interns that have interned for us over the years. Or it can be anybody that just has some spare time that wants to come give back. So we're not picky on where the volunteers come from, really. But we do have a volunteer orientation process. If you're going to be a regular volunteer, if you're going to be in the classroom on a regular basis, we want to give you some training to make sure you're comfortable and you know kind of what our expectations are, and you know how to interact with the kids and just different things like that. We want to make sure that you have a pleasant volunteer experience. And so we are able to quantify all that time, and that's how we meet that 20% requirement. And we use volunteers for a little bit of everything. You can come rock a baby if that's your thing. You can come play on the playground with some 3 and 4 year olds if that's your thing. We have receptionist duties that can be done with volunteer via volunteer. Right now, I have a Spanish student from ASU that's translating our volunteer handbook and some other materials for us from English to Spanish on a volunteer basis. We've had people come in and do filing for us, or just like shredding paper documents that as bills get paid and different things like that. We have to keep those documents with account numbers and those kinds of things shredded. You'd be surprised how quickly that can mount up. So somebody just to feed paper into the shredder is even a task that we've had volunteers come in and do before. And right now, with our readathon, we have an even kind of more concentrated effort on gaining volunteers to come in and read to our students. So, and we're always doing different activities. When we're not doing the readathon, we might be doing some other kind of activity where we're recruiting volunteers. So, chances are, if you have an hour or two, we can find somewhere for you
They'll put you somewhere
to do something that not only will help our program, but give you the satisfaction that you've made the difference in the life of a child as well.
I'm glad you said that. Volunteering is not just, okay, I'm doing this, free work. It's enriching your life and the life of the person that you are working with, working for. And some people, I don't know if they understand that when you volunteer, it's like you're gaining some work experience and life experience.
That's right.
So if you do choose to go into whatever field.
We had a long-term volunteer that volunteered up for us for 3 semesters from ASU.
Okay.
And he worked in our accounting department, and he was an accounting major. And gave him some experience. He got to sit in an audit meeting, and we really kind of, whatever your interests are, we will try to give you as much experience in that as we can. And in doing that, I was proud to write him a recommendation letter for graduate school. He's in graduate school now at UT Memphis.
That's awesome.
I told him, come back and take me to lunch when he gets a job making more money than me.
Okay. Especially doing accounting. He's going to be handling other people's money. All right. And so that's really wonderful that he now gets to use it on his resume.
Right.
It's going to follow him for the rest of his life. And then it shows other potential employers, okay, he's selfless. He gave of his time when he could have probably been doing something else. He chose to volunteer and gain some experience in his field, his career field.
Yes.
Oh goodness. Okay. I'm sorry.
I actually started off as a volunteer, and so through volunteer, I landed a job. So
see how that works? Yes, that is really awesome. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get into the readathon. I want as many people to sign up as possible, especially men, calling all men. But you're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. Phone lines are still open, or you can leave us a message on our Facebook live stream.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Do you struggle to be patient? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Patience has always been one of my biggest struggles. Can you relate? If so, here are 3 ways to help you practice patience. First, understand what triggers impatience. Impatience often occurs when we don't get what we want when we want it. There are a couple of things that can trigger it. We get impatient when circumstances don't conform to our expectations. Long lines at stores, traffic jams, and flight delays can all be culprits. Impatience also rears its ugly head when people don't conform to our expectations. We get frustrated when people don't behave like we think they should behave. For the rest of the 3 ways to practice patience, visit my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Hello, I'm Officer Jonathan Hagens of the Jonesboro Police Department. One of the best decisions I ever made was to join the Jonesboro Police Department. Since joining, I've had the pleasure to give back, protect, and serve my community. Now I want to let you know about that same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing for the patrol officers at the Valley View High School. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information, 870-935-5657.
Applications are being accepted. Applications are available at jonesboropolice.com.
The key to making this station even better could be parked in your driveway right now. Donate your old car to us. You'll get a tax deduction, and we'll tow it away for free.
Go to klekfm.org for more information. Support for KLEK is brought to you by
Fullness of Joy Ministries, 2120 Thorn Street, Jonesboro, under the direction of Bishop Adrian Rogers and co-pastor Susan Rogers. www.fjministries.org.
From the KLEK Community Calendar. Attention seniors ages 55 or older. You may be eligible for paid on-the-job training through the Senior Community Service Employment Program, SCSEP. The Senior Community Service Employment Program is funded by the U.S. Department of Labor and is administered by the National Caucus of Black Aging. More information is available at 501-508-2841.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Hardin. I am speaking with Mr. Jerry Walker and Ms. Lauren Isbell from Arkansas Early Learning. We have been talking about the program, their partners, and some of their needs. And so now we're going to get into an exciting, I don't know if it's called a program or initiative or it's a readathon. Yes, I loved readathon. I loved readathons. Well, the type we used to have back in school where you get this form, you had to read X amount of books. But this one is done a little bit different. You all are calling on men to come into the various centers to read to the children. I want to first talk about how did you get the idea? Where did you get the idea for this program?
The Readathon is actually sponsored annually by the Arkansas Head Start Association.
Okay.
So all the grantees in Arkansas collaborate, and they have what we call a collaboration office in Little Rock, and that collaboration office will help with conferences and like continuing education and those types of things for our staff.
Okay.
And every year they host a Readathon.
Okay.
And we, and the different agencies that are Head Start grantees, or Head Start and Early Head Start grantees, compete in the Readathon.
Okay.
And so last year when we competed, we got second place.
Okay.
And so this year we'd really like to win.
All right, so we're calling on all men, and tell us why it's important for men to be present in children's lives in this setting or any setting. What is it about men being present?
From the studies that I have conducted and have read, it just shows that children they function better. You know, it just shows that they make better grades, that they're able to make better choices when the male is when you have that woman and that male together. I'm not going to pull away from the woman. So when there's a joint team effort between the male and the woman, it just shows that the child does better in school, socially, all of that. And so
I'm sure many parents can attest, and your father, and so I'm sure you can attest. Mama's like, sit down, stop, no, don't. Daddy walks in the room and it's like everybody freezes. It's like, okay, it's something about that male presence. It's not that you're overbearing, but you have an authoritative presence about you that I don't know. And then there's a little mystique about men. I have seen men walk into classrooms and the kids like, ooh, ah, it's like a man's here. It's just something about your presence that is so special and important. All children deserve the right to experience having a man in their life.
I agree.
And so tell us about how men can sign up, how long this is going on, and the time frame. Give us all the details.
Okay. Well, the readathon, it ends in March, but we are constantly and always looking for volunteers. So just because the readathon is over with, you can still come out and volunteer and sign up. You can call the number, which is
870-931-1172.
Okay. And then there's a website or email. No, website.
Yes.
If you go to the website,
arearlylearning.org, and then if you click volunteer, there's a volunteer button. You can it'll pop up a form. You can just pop in your name and a way to contact you, and we'll get back with you and get you scheduled.
Okay, and I do want to give a shout out to the station manager here, Legenzi Kell. He participated in a sessions. I don't know exactly what center he went to. He
was at Lawrence Hamilton.
Okay, Lawrence Hamilton. So shout out to Legenzi for being out there, being in the community, and that's what we seek to do here, KLEK. We look for those opportunities where we can be present, and I'm sure the kids have fun. Based on the pictures that I saw, the kids were really engaged. There was a couple that were looking at the camera, but there were some that were really engaged, and so I'm sure they had a great time. So do you pick out the books, or can someone bring books with them? Like, how does that work?
It's both. We have a library with books. So if one was to come in and didn't have a book, of course, when they bring the book, they might want to hand it to the teacher and let the teacher make sure that it meets our requirements, and that there's nothing that could,
it's inappropriate.
Right. But any children's book,
we hope
we're going to be all right.
Due to I hate to. Okay, not trying to get political, but due to the climate, things that have been going on, you try to make sure some of the books are, how can I say it, as neutral, as less offensive. They're not one way or
we
another.
Always try to be sensitive to different, that every, and just try to make sure things are, the books that we primarily introduce in our classroom are things that have been being used in an educational setting with preschool age children for some time. So we just try to, remain neutral and make sure that the children are being exposed to things that are wholesome and and that nature. So we wouldn't have anything inappropriate.
Okay. All right.
And I was going to add that that the teachers in the beginning of the school year, the teacher gets books, and the books are multicultural. So it's all of we have books for multiculture. As far as parenting, different type of parenting, single mother, single dad, books that tell all about that different type of stuff.
That is awesome.
And it's funny to hear in the EHS classroom as the babies grow to be 2 and 3, and they're starting to find their words, and they're saying mama, and they're saying daddy, and they're say black, white, and different things like that. So they're learning that through the book. So
so they're learning those. What I guess what you call sight words.
Sight.
Okay, my child is older now, so my brain doesn't function on that. But I'm sure I could pick it up if I was in a classroom setting. All right, so again, the readathon it started January 15th, and it's going through March 23rd. Again, if you would like to be a volunteer, reach out to Arkansas Early Learning. They would love to have you. And this will be a great way for all of the men in the community to step up and show your presence, show that you care about the community in which you live. It doesn't have to be your child in the center. It could be a friend of the family. Every child is important. Every child deserves to have this time.
And maybe, Head Start's been around for 50 years. So maybe there's a gentleman out there listening that was a Head Start kid. We would love to kind of show you what the program looks like these days. It might look slightly different than you remember it. But just a neat way to give back and kind of invest in our future, because that's who these kids are. They're gonna be the ones that impact us as we continue, as they continue to get older. So let's invest now so we can have reap the dividends later.
Yes. Another thing I want to bring up from one thing I learned in my sociology classes, school in general has become more feminized in a way of who's more present in the classroom. And so young boys tend to act out as they get older because, again, they don't have an equal representation. There are not as many male teachers as there probably should be or need to be. So sometimes boys don't have anyone they can relate to, so they don't know how to act at times. I mean, we can't blame everything on just that, but there's been research that has shown when boys don't have anyone to relate to, they don't know what to do. It's like you're making them follow a program that may not be who they are naturally as boys. Now, yes, of course, there has to be this balance again of this is sit down quiet time, but okay, here's some play time. There has to be that balance, yes, but research has shown that boys need to see men in the classrooms, period.
Yeah, and that's kind of I've took the initiative to just kind of raise the standard. You know, men do read, men do spend time with their family, men do work, men do open the door for women, men do this, because if you see it, then okay, well that is possible, or that is appropriate. Yes. And so it's just all about raising the standard. So to all the men that's listening, come join with me and raise the standard.
Amen. Amen. We're going to church it here in a minute. I want to thank you for taking that initiative, and I hope that more men step up and join you in this. So we still have some moments left, so let's talk a little bit more about the facility and what even some other programs or some other events you may have coming up that people can be a part of.
Obviously the readathon is our big initiative through March, and then as we transition into the summer months, we'll be gearing up for recruitment for next year, and we will be doing recruitment activities to enroll our children. Of course, our 5-year-olds will be going to kindergarten. So, and as everybody moves up, things kind of move around a little bit, and we always have room for new students. So, we'll be kicking recruitment into high gear. So, if you know of any students in ages 0 to 5 that would be looking for a place to call their educational home for the 2018-2019 school year. Can y'all believe that business? We'll be getting ready to do that. So,
and so how does talk about enrollment or recruitment? How does that work?
Well, we as we said earlier, it's not a first come first serve system. It's a point system, and so we will do an interview with the family upon application, and gain basic documentation that any daycare or child care facility would require, birth certificate, those types of things, and based on the assessment that the family service worker does with the family. It's assigned points, and then we have that point scale, and then wherever the break is, once we, if we have 10 spots to fill, the highest number of points for the first 10 people get those 10 spots. And then, if one of them decides to enroll somewhere else, or, no longer desires to be in the program, then we'll go to number 11, and so on and so forth, until all of our spots are filled.
This is kind of detouring when she mentioned about the family service workers and the documentation. We have family service workers at the centers, and so the family service workers, they're there on the parents, making sure shot records are getting done, that physicals are being taking place. We even have dentists to come to the centers and clean teeth and things like that. So we're focusing on the health side of things as well.
Yeah, it's a comprehensive program. We want to make sure that we serve the entire family, not just the child, and make sure that the family has all the tools that it needs to succeed.
Okay. I can remember back when it was just Head Start. My child was a part of that, and I do remember the dentist days. He would come home with a little bag of goodies, or
a little thing of toothbrush and a new thing of toothpaste.
Yes. I tried to stay as involved as possible. I was blessed at the time to have a job that was fairly flexible, so I was able to go to some of the parent meetings and a variety of activities. I couldn't volunteer a lot of time because I worked, but I still was able to be
present.
Yes, more present. So I truly appreciate the Head Start early learning type programs, as well as I'm sure as other parents do. It, again, like you stated before, it's helping children learn social skills, behavioral skills, things that they're going to carry with them throughout their entire life. And it kind of helps the parents. I'm sure there are some parents you come across that are frustrated. Children do not come with an instruction manual. So
right.
Some parents are like, I don't know what to do, or they don't know how to recognize certain behaviors or learning abilities. And then that's when the professionals in your program come in. Here's what your child's experiencing. Here's what they are doing or not doing. Here's how you can help them reach these different levels.
Right.
And we do that. We have an individualized plan for every child in our classroom. Cognitively, the different skill, where they're at and where they can be with increased, exposure to our program. And then we come alongside the parents and everything with potty training all the way up. Try to assist as much as we can and give those parents the tools and resources that they need to be the best parent they can be for their children.
From your experience there, I'm sorry, Jerry. From your experience there, have you noticed a child, the parent maybe thought, my child has a learning disability, they're just, I don't know what to do. But through your program, you have seen a change in the child.
Yes, like I mentioned before, we have partnerships where if you suspect or if we do the testing and it does seem like that the child needs a little bit more help or assistance, we call in those professionals and the child is able to get that extra help.
Okay.
We have contracts with occupational therapists and speech therapists and physical therapists. All those kinds of therapists will come to our center where you don't have to worry about taking off work to go take your kid to another appointment after school. They'll come to the location and do it. If there's skills that they can work on at home related to those therapies, they'll have a session with the parent present to where they can they can be working on those skills with the child at home and then be getting the therapy with the therapist during the school day. And it just works really well. And early intervention, don't wait until that child is in kindergarten to get speech therapy or get occupational therapy. We can provide those services, before they even get to school age. So that by the time they get to kindergarten, they're caught up in where they need to be and ready to learn.
Okay. We have a question about the readathon from Officer Nathan Coleman. Thank you for checking in. What is the time frame to go read?
9 to 11 a.m. is kind of our sweet spot during the day. After 11, we start transitioning into lunch and then into nap time. And we do have some time at the end of the day, that 2 to 2:45. But a lot of our kids start picking up at that time too. So really that 9 to 11 is the sweetest spot during the day. We can slide you in there. But if that doesn't work for you, we'll be happy to try to accommodate what will.
Okay. And I'm just typing in some information into the feed, so for whoever's watching. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Talk about some more. Anything we may not have covered. We still 3 minutes left in this segment.
Sure.
Okay. I was going to mention as well that we conduct home visits, and when we conduct home visits, it's not to be nosy or to see what's going on within the home, but just to get the child comfortable. If they see you at your home and mama is accepting and grandma is accepting and daddy is accepting, so when they get to school, because this is conducted before they start school, as well as periodically throughout the school year, just to get them comfortable with the teacher and the faces that they will be seeing. So we do conduct home visits.
And we also have a health team on on our staff, and they have great partnerships with different organizations that come in and do our, like we mentioned before, our dental screenings and vision screenings and hearing screenings and lead screenings and all kinds of things that your typical, child care facility really isn't going to do. But we want to make sure that the kids enrolled in our program are health is at the forefront. Okay. We provide everything that the child will need during the day. For babies, that includes diapers and formula. You don't have to send any of that stuff. And then we provide breakfast, lunch, and a snack for the children while they are in our centers. We do the meals, family style dining, so that's a little bit different. Too many times these days, and I'm just as guilty as the next parent, but we sit in front of the TV and we're watching Wheel Fortune or whatever while we're eating dinner, and it's not really around the table like it used to be at Grandma's house. So we really try to introduce those skills of pass the peas, please, with our kids, and you would be shocked at how well 3 and 4 year olds can sit down and do a family style meal like that. It's really quite precious.
So when you do the home visits, also you mentioned you're not trying to be nosy and all this stuff, but do you also try to recognize are some of the skills learned in the center being carried over into the home as same as with sitting at the table or trying to restructure the family time?
Correct. What we do is during the home visit, we'll go through the things that we'll be doing in the classroom, and then we'll ask the parent to join in with us so that the child won't be seeing one thing done at school and then another thing done at home.
All right, so with that, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up our discussion and give you more highlights on the dates and times of the readathon, so stay tuned and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. Our Think Wealthy quote of the week comes from John Rogers, founder of Ariel Investments, one of the nation's largest black-owned asset management firms.
My father had started buying stocks for me every birthday and every Christmas after I was 12, so I learned to get comfortable with the markets and have total confidence in my ability to pick stocks and sell stocks and do the right things.
Rogers is a great example of what happens when we invest in the financial education of our children at an early age. In order to build wealth that sustains itself from generation to generation, we must make financial literacy in our homes, our churches, and other community institutions a priority. But it all starts with you. What are you teaching your kids about money?
Think long term, stay the course, and not let all the short term noise pull them out of the market at exactly the wrong time or pull them back in at exactly the wrong time.
I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
KLEK 102.5 FM is giving away free gas in February. That's right, KLEK has teamed up with Mrs. Polly's Motivational Barbecue CAB, 2098 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro in the Teletech parking lot, and the Lambda Eta chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated to give you free gas. All you gotta do is tune in to All Gospel Wednesday with Brother Cobbs every Wednesday in February from 11 o'clock a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. When Brother Cobbs asks for the 10th caller, all you gotta do is call in and say, your life, your music, KLEK. Call in to 870-277-1080. Again, that's 870-277-1080. And you will win a $30 gift card good at any come and go gas station. KLEK, giving away free gas every Wednesday for All Gospel Wednesday in February. And remember, your life, your music, KLEK. KLEK, Mrs. Polly's, and Phi Beta Sigma, we do it for you.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
House of Details, located at 3217 Herb Street, Suite C, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle. Waxing, clear coat protection, basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more. With a motto of, anything mean, we can clean. Details available via Quentin Bogard at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and houseofdetailsjonesboro.com.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Hardin, and we're speaking with Mr. Jerry Walker III, I keep leaving that off, and Ms. Lauren Isbell from Arkansas Early Learning. We have been talking all about their programs, the readathon, and just the exciting things that they are doing to try to help enrich the lives of the children of our communities, our various communities. I would like to mention the counties now. There's a lot of different cities within these counties. So currently they're serving Benton, Craighead, Cross, Crittenden, Garland, Greene, Jackson, Poinsett, Pulaski, and Saline. So you all are all over the place.
Yes. The largest Head Start in Arkansas.
Oh my gosh. So there's actually another Head Start type program within Arkansas?
Yes, there are multiple Head Starts.
Okay.
I don't know the name of them. All I know is that we are the largest. So.
All right. All right. And so from my experience with my child being in Head Start years and years ago, and knowing parents that have children that have come through your programs, you all are doing a wonderful job of making a major impact in these children's lives. Some beautiful babies on the brochure, so I'm sure they're part of the different facilities that you all have. And again, you serve. Tell us again. Let's wrap up for those who may have missed the beginning segment. Let's go through a little bit more information, just kind of some highlights of the services you offer.
So we are the largest Head Start in Arkansas. We serve over 1,100 families, so not just our babies, but our families too.
Okay.
And so we serve children ages 0 to 5, 0 to 3 in our early Head Start classrooms, and then as they turn 3, they transition to our Head Start classrooms, which we will serve them there until they go to kindergarten.
Okay.
And we have comprehensive services, which means we do education, which is what most people think about. But we also do nutrition and health and family services, and then if there's a need for therapy or additional intervention by a professional to get that child, make sure they have all the skills they need for kindergarten, we're going to make sure that we can help make those connections as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So this isn't your typical, child care or daycare. We have, a health team on staff, nutritionists on staff, family service workers. It's a team of us working together so that the whole child can be served and not just one part of the.
And you serve
child.
Again, the whole child, as in mind, body, soul. Like you serve their whole person. Yeah, the whole being. Right. You serve the families, providing them with tools and skills they need to continue what goes on in the center or in the classroom, to carry it out at home as well.
Right, and try to give our family services team does an excellent job providing resources monthly to our families. And when I say that, I mean they'll put on parent workshops, maybe about budgeting or how to stretch your grocery budget, or how to make sure that when it's time to renew your RKids, you know how to do that, or make sure that when it's time to they did one fairly recently at a center on car maintenance and just basic like mechanic type stuff. And so you just how to check your tire pressure. I mean, there's things like that you don't even may not even think about, but just different resources like that we can make available to our families. We're glad to do it.
That is awesome.
I see our time is winding down, so I'm gonna throw this last thing out there. We also have a warehouse in Paragould, and in the warehouse we have toiletries, hygiene products, and different things of that nature. And so if a parent goes to the center director or the family service worker and privately tell them, hey, we need toothpaste, we need soap, we need this. I'm actually over that, so I get an email and I'll be sure that center or that family gets what it is that they need.
So basically, do you get kind of a anonymous, I hate to say anonymous, but like maybe no identifying Tanisha needs,
Right.
It's done very discreetly.
Okay.
Right. I just deliver it, and the center director or the person that's working actually closer to that family or to that child, the center director will make the transition, the transaction.
All right, so we have like 2 minutes left. So any final thoughts, shout outs to
We would love to have anybody listening come out for our readathon or volunteer, or just contact us and we'll connect with you. Maybe we can come up with a special project for your group. If the readathon doesn't work for you guys, we would love to come up with a special service project that we can have you guys do and enrich the lives of our families.
We have a lot of civic organizations. I hope you're listening. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to reach out to them.
I would love for you to. And anybody listening, truly, the different ways we can impact the community through these families are huge. And we want to catapult the giving and the kindness that we see in the Jonesboro community to our families as much as we can. And I love living here because I know that that's the heartbeat of who Jonesboro is, and they are always looking for ways to give back. And so let us be first on your mind when it comes to how to impact kids that will be impacting us tomorrow.
Alrighty. Again, they're from Arkansas Early Learning. I put the information in the Facebook live stream, but again, if you have any questions, comments, www.arearlylearning.org or 870-931-1172. Please support the center. Please support the services they provide. Get your children enrolled. It's not first come, first serve, but you never know. They may have a spot open for you.
That's right.
All right. So tomorrow is Valentine's Day. We will have someone from Arkansas State University talking about all things heart health. What better day to talk about heart health than on Valentine's Day? So tune in tomorrow, 9 a.m. Thank you all so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
I can't wait to hear how the readathon goes. I want to see as many men as possible sign up. I'm going to personally reach out to every man that I know.
Come on, men, let's raise the standard.
That's right. So thank you all again. I hope you all have a great day. And thank you everyone who tuned in. I hope you have a very, very blessed day. Try to stay warm out there.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community